Hi, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. I want to talk about the options for remodels and rehabs and restorations. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and there will be more in the coming year, 2, 3 years, especially as market shifts. We've been in a huge building trend for quite some time. There may be some retraction with that, and that will open up opportunities for remodels and restorations. The advantage I want to talk to you about here is a property I'll be actually doing a full-on restoration, but I'm actually going to convert it from a single-family home to basically a multi-generational home. Now, I don't like to say multi-family because cities and building departments don't like to hear that. Multi-generational is where many of the same family that are all related are living in the same home, but you separate it so that each has their own little area to live. I'm going to walk you through this home and show you what I'm planning to do to fit that particular need. Let's go take a look. Okay, the first step that we're going to be doing is I've got an excavator right there, which I talked about in another video. And we're going to take out this window well, and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom of the foundation of the home. And we're going to put some steps. They're going to go right up here and down into this window well. That's a perfect dimension for a door that we'll be putting at the bottom of this new exterior entrance for some living down below while they're separate living above. If you've got a situation like this and you don't have to cut into the concrete, all the better. Now, I've mentioned this before in some other posts. This here is already concrete foundation, has a bond beam in it with rebar and everything in it. It was structurally designed that way to accommodate all this weight. So I don't have to fiddle with any of that. I just have to go down below to the bottom of the windowsill, cut that out, so I have at least 6, 8 or so window or door clearance, so I can put a door in there. So that's when I saw this, I said, that's a great entrance for a second dwelling down below. So let's go inside. Okay, we're inside the home. It does need a lot of help. It's gone many years without any updates, improvements, upkeep, that kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of work inside this home. This here is the stairwell that goes down into the basement. I'm going to take all this off, cap it, increase more floor space for the main living area, take this here old partition wall in and take that down to create more of an open feel for the upstairs. You can see we got 3 bedrooms down this way. We got 2 bathrooms. Laundry here, which will all be completely gutted and cleaned up. I've got new windows already ordered for the whole facility. And one thing I've noticed is we've got a return air here, a forced air system. Now, when you're doing a situation where you may have people living up below and living above, even if it's the same family, you can't necessarily share a forced air system very well. So I'm going to pull the entire vented system, and I'll put a ductless system in for mini splits in the ceiling for this entire upstairs as well as down below. So I'm pulling the entire duct system out of this house. Got a bedroom in here. Again, a bathroom in there that will be completely gutted. It's kind of hasn't been used in a long time, so it's kind of a mess. You can see where I've got forced air over here, again coming up through the main area. It was just kind of an ad hoc situation that they did, and that's going into the basement. But what's interesting is this here is actually warm. It's coming out of the attic, and then it's going down into the basement to hopefully cool and heat stuff down there. But it's not even insulated, so the entire HVAC system is completely inadequate. And you can see here I got a plenum here with a return air coming up through here. Again, we'll take the whole thing out and create more space for everything else that we're trying to do. That's one of the reasons why you see a ceiling dropped here for the whole return air. We won't necessarily mess with that, but I know that that's where the return air is going. Let me show you downstairs, because that's where the real interesting opportunity is downstairs. And we'll come back up here and we'll talk about the kitchen area. Okay, now we're downstairs. Remember that window I was talking about upstairs, or outside anyway? We'll actually have a concrete crew come down and cut all the way down through here down to the base of the foundation, and we're going to put a door here with steps going out, and this here will be a kitchen with a kitchenette over here, and we'll open up the wall over in that area, which will open up to some living space on the other side. This here's the stairs that we just came down. They're behind this wall, and we can create a little pantry actually behind the stairs. Again, you can't see much now, but when you can think spatially, you can actually start to imagine what you can do with a property. So again, like we'll put a little pantry here as the steps. Okay, we just came out of the kitchen area there, and here's the stairs that I was talking about. We're actually going to leave the stairs in there. There's absolutely no reason for the removal of the stairs. One of the things I'm wrestling with is I've got some supports, floor joists coming across, landing on this wall, and floor joists on the other side of the house, landing on this wall. So if I were to take out this whole middle section of the stairs, I'd have to reconfigure the entire floor joists up above. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to leave this whole structure here. On the underside of the steps, I will have a pantry for the kitchen, and here I'll just have a door and I'll have some storage. It's not a problem to have storage that's got some stairs on it. You can stack stuff up there. We could even put some shelves that are larger and some real depth if we needed to. So I'm leaving the stairs in case it can be converted to a single family home, but here I'm just going to leave it as is for ease of build, less labor, less cost, and it doesn't really get in the way of anything. You can see over here we've got some water damage. They actually had to put in a new backflow device, not a backflow, but a pressure reducer valve. And I'm going to remove all that and put it over here. I've got a water heater in the middle of nowhere. I am going to put a tankless water heater in this building. That way, if all 3 bathrooms are being used at the same time, they can supply the hot water for all 3 bathrooms. The worst thing you can have is to have a 60 or even a 70-gallon tank, and it get drained after the first 2 showers, and some third person comes in there and there's no hot water for that person. And then with the tankless, I need less space, so I can literally mount that to a wall in a small little cubby area. And as long as I have sufficient ventilation, I prefer gas tankless water heaters over electric. As long as I have sufficient ventilation, I'm just fine. So I'll be finding a place for that. Okay, this here's the biggest section of the build that's really kind of the hair-raising area. I'm going to take out all these walls and expand this bathroom that way about 1 foot and expand it that way another 2 feet. Have a walk-in shower that's going to be a recessed shower, so we'll take out the concrete in the shower to create a recessed shower. Take out the toilet, take out the concrete, and extend the sewer all the way over to where the kitchenette is so that I will be able to tap into that. But I'm actually thinking in advance, far in advance. I've got a huge backyard in the back. I could eventually put a casita in there. I mean, I've got some older aging parents. My wife has some parents that are aging as well. Who knows what is going to be needed in the future? If you've got boomer parents, you're going to need to have to accommodate for that. If you can't put them in a home or what have you, you want to keep them close by so they can watch them. There's a lot of stuff coming down that people need to think about, and these types of homes are great opportunities for that. You can't buy a tract home these days that has a large backyard. This backyard here goes back about 150 feet, so I can fit a lot back there. We'll walk back there and I'll show you. But if I'm going to cut into the concrete here and to get sewer to the sink over there and a water line over there, the door is right here. So that door is going to be cut out right there. So while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to take the sewer and take it out through that door underneath the footing, take it out and put a clean out there so that if I needed to, I have real clean, quick access for a casita in the back if I needed to. Or if I needed to do an addition on this home, I now have access to the plumbing. The biggest thing with remodels is that 3 to 4 inch plumbing drain line. You've got to fit that through structure. You've got to fit that through concrete and all the subterranean aspects of a home. If you can think in advance of where that's going to go and where you might need it later, great, because it has to have a negative slope, a 1/4 inch bubble slope all the way down. The water line itself, hot, cold water, that can fit through the frame structure. Same thing with forced air, same thing with gas. Your plumbing, your drain system That's stuck. That has to be what it is. So when I dig down here, and if I'm too shallow here with the drain line, I may have to drop it just a little bit just to get the the slope I need to the kitchen. But while I'm there, I'm going to take that sewer, put it right outside beyond the steps in the clean out with an extension tee, and I can take it anywhere else I want after that. So thinking in advance of all the things you might want to do in the future, your mechanical is going to really hold you back if you don't think in advance. And drain lines are the biggest mechanical issue of all because they have to go in a certain direction. If you can think in advance, you're going to be really ahead of the game. Let's go outside and look at the foundation. I want to talk to you about the yard and the potential for homes like these. Okay, we're outside, and you can tell it's kind of a sizable backyard. So it's got a lot of space. The garage over here is kind of in the wrong spot. I may be demoing that. I don't know yet. I'm going to use it for storage of materials for now because I could really use some space. But you can tell that the foundation of the home is in really good shape. The exterior brick in really good shape. These are the two pluses of the home, basically. I've actually ordered material. We'll put a whole new roof on, and I'm going to pull that HVAC unit off the roof. Just pull it off and put whole mini splits inside the home. So that's the real plus of this home. And plus, you can see over there we're gonna go underneath for the stairs going down. I'll have a clean out sewer right there, and that's clean out sewer with a T there gives me all kinds of potential down here down the road. If I wanted to do an extension off the house this way, I could, or with a little breezeway separating the two buildings, I could. This is what's sad is that there's a lot of homes with a lot of space, and that space is never utilized to its highest and best use. So we're going to hopefully be able to do that over time on this build. It's going to be a fun remodel on this one. I did notice inside, a couple days ago that they used a lot of that particle board for the subfloor. And if you notice, a lot of old homes back in the 80s used that stuff. The minute that stuff gets wet, it swells up. So I'll be pulling a lot of the floorboards on that. But I'm not going to try to do this all at once. I'm actually going to do the bottom floor first, get all that done, all the insulation, everything done, the new sewer system, everything, get that done, and then I'll come upstairs up on the top. It's too much to bite all at once, but here I can work it in steps. And if you can chunk things away and bite them a little bit at a time, see the phases that you want to go through on a build, then you can be able to take it on. All right, now this would be a little much all at once, so we're just going to do it in steps. And then bottom floor, second floor, and the full exterior in the backyard. So a lot of potential out there. Keep an eye out for them. Things like this are going to come up. And if you're thinking, I've had a lot of calls from people that, I got to get a home, my mom needs to move in with me, this and that, and it's really hard to build new to accommodate for that. Whereas the advantage here is I have very, very low impact fees. If I do pull a permit, I don't need to pull a permit on this one because it's just a remodel. I'm not changing any structural integrity on the home at all. I'm not even adding a toilet. So I'm just going to restore it and remodel it and make it work so that it's sufficient for a multi-generational use, which is my multi-generational use. And the advantage is I have all this potential down the road. Again, the low impact fees, if you do go for a permit, you've got more space to grow, and there's a lot of opportunity for that. And most of all, we restore our communities. When we see blighted homes and blighted neighborhoods, we should think about restoring them and lifting them up, and it actually lifts the entire community up. When one of these homes gets changed and it becomes completely revamped, it lifts everybody else around that neighborhood. I've seen that many, many times. When one house gets either completely restored or demolished and a new one goes up in front of in its place, it changes the whole dynamics of the community. So don't think that the market value is going to be suppressed by other homes. No, you're going to lift the market value of a home when you actually restore it in an old part of town. Think about these opportunities, and I'll give you posts on this ones as we move forward on this entire process. This is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home.